freedom stars after the freedom stars after the freedom stars after the freedom stars. Mental therapy, whatever you want to call it. Let's talk about it. Set it free. Time to finish what we started. Got our whole hearts in it. Standing hard on it. 2 feet, 10 toes deep. Taking baby steps, coming through, thumping hard. Whoever your God, whatever your belief, lifestyles retreat. This is the place where we all meet. We talking freedom. We believe in it. No past, ink pens, pull out a check. Come on, let's chat for a minute. We here. Yeah. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraints. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraints. Advice. Some words ain't always nice. Suggestions, making statements, praying, saying, chiming, vibing, frequency high. Spiritual contact, emotional climax. Forgiving, not forgetting, divine energy balance within. Whoever your God, whatever your beliefs, lifestyle, retreat. This is the place where we all meet. We talking freedom. We believe in it. Notepads, ink pens, pull out a chair. Come on, let's chat for a minute. We here, yeah. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. We talking freedom. We mean it. Eyes on the prize. We see it. We rockin' freedom. We believe that. Ain't no stopping us now. Best believe it. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. What's up?
Good day.
I'm Steve Osborne.
Kevin Upson.
Welcome to another episode of Freedom Stars After Dark. We made it. We made it. Yeah. It's been a while since we did a Freedom Stars After Dark episode. Our title today is, first of all, it's Sunday evening, July 26, 2026. Our title for today is Our title for today is Are Modern Women Destroyers of Families? Are modern women destroyers of families?
And the key part to that is modern women or females. Because, as we said, there's a difference between females and women. Women carry themselves like women. Females are just females. Big difference. Big difference. So with the modern females, they're feminizing their boys, and they're, what do you want to say, butching their daughters?
Butch queens.
Because they're making their daughters harder than the boys.
Yeah.
The girls are harder than the boys. Now you see any of these little clips where females get involved with the cops and they're they're more harder than the boys are. So yeah, I would say 100% yes.
I agree. I agree totally.
I think the females that are the women that gives the father the sons to raise, or let the father be in the son's life to help raise them, are real women. And that's if they're not doing any interference. If they're allowing the father to be a father and allowing the father to make the son a young man.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem we have right now is it's not enough, because these kids are still doing the same thing. It's just like a complete circle with you look at the crime, black on black crime, kids killing each other, like, and then they're saying that the cops are doing it. They're doing more than what the cops are doing. So I mean, at this rate it's going to be extinct.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree with you though. Yeah, I think there's so many different levels of how modern women, and when we speak on modern women, like basically we speaking on more of what we know, which is our race. We can speak somewhat further, based on what we see from Anglos or Spanish people, or conversation we have with people we know, or involvements. But our main big focus that we can speak on that we know about is our race, and we talking about like black women. You know what I'm saying?
African American, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. From my stance, where it involves black women being destroyers of families, I would have to say yes, because in my own personal experience of dealing with black women in my family, I've encountered so many different imbalances to where you have like some women, if things are not going their way, they don't want nothing to go or work at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like
same in my family. My family got older.
It's like, yeah, some females want to be mediators when their energy might not even be needed in certain situations, but they want to be, like, I'm gonna say, for instance, everything to
go through them.
Yeah, say for instance, if you got a sibling situation where you may have two brothers and a sister feel like she has to be in the middle in order for there to be a system. But as I have learned, when it comes to men are more simpler than females, right? And remember when it was a time we was living on a farm, and this was a non-African American, this was an Anglo female, where our relationship started out with her being our friend, and then we eventually became friends with her husband, her son's dad, because they weren't married like that. But yeah, we became friends with her son's dad, and it was crazy because we actually became closer friends with him than with her. But she felt like,
but the way we encountered each other, we shouldn't have been friends.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know us from a can of paint.
Yeah.
And she just brought us there to the farm.
So she had that modern day stuff. Because the Anglo women got that modern day energy too, a lot of them. Yeah. Because we just went to the farm, and she had not even sat down and talked with him as to whether it would be okay for us to come. She just, we went there, and she was like, this is what it is, Yeah. And I think that was done inappropriately, but things turned out to where,
as far as the men, we all were stunned by what happened. We didn't know, we weren't expecting him to be there, he wasn't expecting us to be there, but we worked it out.
Yeah.
Nobody acted unrational. We were all, and then he actually went beyond.
Yeah,
up and beyond.
That was crazy.
Yeah, he accommodated us with no problem.
And when you think about it, at that particular moment, she could have been a destroyer of her family, because he could have said, you know what? If you're going to have black guys here, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? It could have went so many different ways.
So he could have just went Rambo.
Yeah, so so speaking on that term of an Anglo female, that was technically, when you look at it, that's kind of destructive for the family, because I think that the woman, female, supposed to sit down and talk to her husband, her baby daddy, her boyfriend, whoever the man of the house is, you got to talk to him. Because if he would have brought two black females there, she wouldn't have accepted that. But you're dealing with black women, you gotta go or I'm out. So when you think about that, that goes back to how we say a lot of women want things their way. If he would have brought 2 black females to that farm and just told her that they were gonna stay here, you know what I'm saying, and help out, and
it is what it is.
Man, yeah, that would not have flown.
They're here and they're just gonna be.
And just deal with it. But yeah, so getting back to like what I was saying, where you have say you got siblings, and it's a situation where it's 2 brothers and a sister. More than likely, the brothers, you know, you're gonna have ups and downs in family relationship, friendships, whatever. But a female's energy is not always needed when it comes to men and men, because it's like we deal with things on simpler levels, and then it don't go as far as it can go with females pressing all the buttons and pulling all of the strings.
A woman in the interaction with that is supposed to be a feminine. You know, they're coming in with a feminine vibe and saying, okay, like if y'all arguing or something like that with disagreement, y'all work this out and stop, you know, and stop bumping heads or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's supposed to be the rational one to alleviate problems, mm-hmm. not cause problems, mm-hmm. or not be the problem.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And then what you said about the, you know, females letting the son's father raise them. If the son's father is an upright man, I think that if that relationship doesn't work between the mother and the father, then I feel like if she doesn't give the sons for the father to raise, like I said, an upright man, because you don't want to take them and push them into a worse, you know, atmosphere than being with the mother, you know, because I know a lot of mothers are loving and caring and nurturing, and not all of them, but a lot of them, you know, they're supposed to be. And you got some that's just willy-nilly. Then you got a lot of fathers that are tender, nurturing, and caring, and then you got a lot of fathers that are careless. But yeah, in most situations when a relationship doesn't work, I think that sons should probably be better off with their father if he's an upright man.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of hardworking, righteous young men that I've seen now that's really breathtaking. It's just like, it's not like it used to be back in the days. Mm-hmm. Just out thugging it, want to be thugs with their pants sagging, their ass all out.
And I think that get old.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Actually got old.
Yeah, because that person that's doing all of that, you know, are you going to do that forever? Because you know one day you're going to be 30 years old and 40 years old and 50 years old.
And you're raising boys.
And then, yeah, the boys going to take after, you know, what they see their dad doing. So, yeah. But I think that there's a style now where females want to get pregnant from a man that they consider handsome or cute or whatever. They want to get pregnant from men, and then they want the man to just leave, and then they take care of the child. And it's become a situation of sympathy where, oh, she's a single mother. She's doing all for her children. She's doing this by herself, or her mama and her sisters helping her. And that's how she wanted it. So it's like, if that's how she wanted it, how can you feel sympathy for that? You get what I'm saying? If she does something that's not upright, that's not righteous, if she does something wrong, she has to pay the consequences for that. She has to accept accountability for that. You can't say, oh, but that's a female, oh, that's a single mother, or that's this, or that's that. Because she chose, most women choose the situations that they want to be in. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but now you have so many males, can't say men, you have so many males now that's so brainwashed. They'll stand there and see a woman berating and dogging a man out, like you say, a bus driver. This female is standing there just acting like a man. She's her man energy, cursing this man out and spitting on him. And then you hear guys in the back talking about, well, you can't talk to her like that. That's a female.
Yeah.
What is your problem?
That's brainwash. That's brainwash.
You're standing here. You're not didn't say one word to this female while this man is doing his job. And he got the safety and responsibility of all the people that's on this bus. She's distracting him by standing here, cursing him out, berating him, and all this other stuff. And you're saying to him that this is a female?
And they should have been telling her, hey, that's a man you're talking to like that.
Why don't you sit your ass down and let this man do his job and drive this bus with all of us on here?
Yeah. It's just the way society is, and I don't know if it's this way worldwide or this. I think it's predominantly an American thing.
And then the most problem is in our own communities. Yeah. Because if that was a female, if that was an Anglo female, an Anglo man would have said, would you shut your ass up? An Anglo man would have put that woman in her place.
Yeah.
And she would have shut her ass up.
It's something about our race, like you said, where they let females just do anything and all things, and then they like, but that's a female. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. And I've seen situations where you get females that say that women are more emotionally intelligent than men. Okay, for me, emotional intelligence involves being able to control your emotions first and foremost of all, okay? Emotional intelligence involves making good decisions and not being selfish and wanting everything your way or no way. You get what I'm saying?
Or making wrong decisions with your body, or going out here kicking your legs open with no protection, having babies.
And
so
abortions.
If you're emotional and intelligent, where does that falls when that situation comes up?
So
you're pregnant.
I don't think that women or females are more emotionally intelligent than men, because like I said, the first part of emotional intelligence is being able to control your emotions. Because if you can't control your emotions, you're going to do anything under the sun when you get pissed off. And that's what I learned too. When you first meet a female, everybody, and I learned this because most guys are usually who they are, compared to when I meet females. They have this pretty innocent, want her to fly facade. But then when you get them pissed off, that's when you see who they really are. You get what I'm saying? I've learned that with time. Get a female pissed off and you see who they really are. Most dudes, when they get pissed off, they might say a word or two, or they might just cut you off completely. You know what I'm saying? But females can get very evil. A lot of females can get very vindictive. A lot of females are sadistic. A lot of females are narcissistic. You know what I'm saying? I think when it comes to those energies, it's more of that on the female spectrum than on the male spectrum.
They get in another man's head to come and fuck you up.
Yeah. And that's something
They're going to lie. They're going to lie to somebody and say something to somebody to get you fucked up.
Yeah. And that's something I've learned too. When you get a female that has a child from a man, their relationship didn't work out right. She's going to eventually end up lonely and want companionship. So when she meet the new man, first of all, he has to accept the fact that she has children from another man. He got to accept that first fact.
Or 3.
Or however many she got, however many baby daddies she got.
Yep.
So that's the first thing he got to accept, right? The second thing he got to accept is the stories that she tell him of why her relationship didn't work with the previous guy. And I learned this from just so many things. Yeah, or guys. He got to see where they treated her wrong and they made her self-esteem low. And he has to strive hard to not be all of those things that she's saying that the other people did to her. Never, and when I tell y'all that this is firsthand experience, whether I have witnessed it, whether somebody shared with me or whatever the case may have been, the guy has to accept those things, and then he strives to make her feel beautiful, to keep her uplifted, to wine and dine her, to lavish her, just all of these things. But what he doesn't realize is that the stories that she told him about those other guys, eventually when their relationship doesn't work, he's going to be grouped with those same guys. So
she's going to be telling the next guy
it's
the
a
same
crazy
stories.
mind game that takes place, and it takes people to understand that and to really look at it. But if you just looking for a piece of ass, if you want a quick, whatever, I think a lot of guys don't process all of that because they just looking at the females like this finna be, they finna hit this and this and that. And they're not thinking about all of the other things that come along with that. It's a lot. And today's day, I think there are so many more damaged females and males as there has ever been since existence. I think that there are so many of us damaged, and most of the men, including myself, I know, that have been damaged, a lot of it is from females. It's from either single women, or it's from families where it was predominantly women, or it could have been men that were in relationships with women that did everything the female way, did this, did that, then it didn't work, and she took him for everything he had. It's so many different situations where I think there's a strong imbalance, and I believe that modern women are destroyers of families. Because if you allow the guy, like you said, they allow the guy to get them pregnant, they went through the pregnancy, you should be looking for a fulfilled family. You should be looking for mother, father, children, have your Christmas days, have the daddy there to mow the lawn and do things that men do, and then you know what I'm saying. That should be how people think for balance. Because if you say, oh no, I just need me some children, I raise them myself, I pay all of the business and that, you messing them kids up from the get-go, because they're gonna see everything from your point of view. You're gonna have butch daughters and you're gonna have feminine sons. There's no other way that can be. There's no situation where a single mother can make her son a masculine man and make her daughter a feminine woman, because a single mother is operating in man energy. You get what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. And the college degree women.
And not to mention, if the mother is one of these women that wear very little, and she's got a child, she got a little girl, her girl is going to grow up doing the same thing, if not worse. You know, I don't know what that's going to do to the boy.
Yeah, because when you think about it, a boy really not supposed to see his mama like that. When we are out places in public, women be dressed so seductively, sexually. A son shouldn't see his mama like that. You get what I'm saying? A son shouldn't. That's not appropriate. Like, I think
his mom breast and ass all out.
Yeah, a son. I don't think a son is supposed to witness all of that like that. Like, I think that's wrong. I think it's wrong. I think that's contributing to the delinquency of a minor in a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying?
And then it's changing the way he's going to look at females.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then if he was raised by a hard dominant female, and I've seen this in a lot of situations, in most cases he's gonna end up with that same type of female, because that boy has grown up living a life of being used to having a woman run him.
Yeah, being under a female.
So he's just gonna be used to having women run him, and then when people tell him he need to be a man or he need to man up, how the hell can you make that statement? He can't just pull manhood out of the air. You get what I'm saying? So when people say, the
only person that he knew how to be a man was from his mom.
Yeah, so when people say that statement about you need to man up, that's like
that's some of the dumbest things in our culture, and it's nowhere else.
Yeah,
it's nowhere else.
And whoever came up with that statement is just it's.
Somebody heard it and they just kept going, and they use it on
man
and
up.
They use it in movies, they use it in songs.
Yeah, you can't tell somebody to do something that's just like you telling somebody, hey, you need to millionaire it up. Like, okay, in order to become a millionaire, you gotta, you can't pull money out of the air. You know what I'm saying? So just man up. I never liked that statement, you need to man up. You know what I'm saying? You can be who you are, and you can strive to modify yourself as you go along the way, but you can't be something that you're not, because eventually if you get stuck in that mindset, you're gonna lose who you were, and you're gonna be lost. And I know people like that just try to become brand new people, and they lost. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta be who you are. If you're a boy that's raised by a single mother, I think you have to be aware of that, and then you gotta take the necessary precautions. If you're a straight man, you gotta take the necessary precautions with females that you deal with. And if you're a gay man, then you gotta take necessary precautions just to be happy. But that's a whole nother story, within life. And we eventually gonna start having episodes on gay topics and stuff like that. We got like 1 million episodes coming. But yeah, I think that the modern females destroy families. And if I hit rewind and go back to when I was a child, I'm sure my grandma had her young years, where she probably was foxy and all of those things, but I didn't get to see that. And maybe she didn't. Maybe she was that person that she was always modest, and my grandma was pleasant and polite, and she always dressed, my grandma always dressed appropriately. Like some grandmas I see now, when we in public, and some of these women got grandkids. Yeah.
She's an old female.
I would hate to see my grandma dressed how a lot of these grandmas dressing now. They be showing stomach and just tight, just thigh highs and just... And they got grandkids, and if they don't got grandkids, then they too old to still be dressing the way they dressing now. I'm talking about females in their 60s and 70s. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that they got some years on them.
And ain't nothing wrong with having confidence.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they make clothes to cover your body.
And yeah, it's just, we see all kind of craziness. And I gotta say, I see that from our race more than Anglo women. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't understand what happened with modesty? What happened with appropriate attire? Why is everything so sexually driven right now? Why do so many females just focus on how things look? You know, what about the package of what you actually have going on the inside? Instead of, because the outside is just the outside. That changes. You can get a female with 7 different wigs and she could do her makeup and hair different, look like 7 different people within 1 week. That's not impressive. You know what I'm saying? That's not impressive. Like, but in today's society, I think it is. I don't know. It's really confusing. And what I was gonna say about the probably now more than ever, you have more females with college degrees. And I'm speaking on the black females because I'm pretty sure our entire lives we've dealt with Anglo women that were college educated, and they never let you know. They never said anything about it. It's just something that was. But
college degree.
Yeah, with these African American, these black females now,
I have my PhD.
it could be in any situation, and they throw their college degree up, and I don't understand what that is. Because technically, let's make it clear that anybody can get a college degree. College is a program; it's an institution, right? All you gotta do
indoctrinated to somebody.
That's all you gotta do.
Somebody else's principles.
Stick in with the program, the institution, whatever their rules and regulations are, and stay there to the end. And do everything that you're supposed to do. Anybody can get a college degree. When they say highly educated black woman, I get so confused because when she's highly educated, what does she know more than everybody else? If she has a degree in bioengineering, right? They call her educated woman. Okay, so how can you apply bioengineering to life situations?
And then
what makes you so much educated? And that's for men too.
She's a highly educated female, single, with 3 kids.
Yeah, I'm confused about the topic, but I think that it's an energy. I think maybe it's a trend or it's a style or it's a fad that hopefully it will wear off. Because if you have a college degree, we don't need to know. You get what I'm saying?
What are you doing with it?
Yeah, because if you got a college degree in bioengineering,
in your life,
yeah.
Or is it just for a job that you're doing?
I don't think it's been applied to people's lives. I think they getting degrees and then they just, I guess, boasting on it. Because if you got a degree in bioengineering, why are you a manager at McDonald's or a manager at Dollar Tree or whatever? You know what I'm saying?
And then single with 2 and 3 kids.
I think it's crazy right now, and I think you
put more energy into education than you do with a family life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What principles do you have? Where did all that other intelligence go at when you started to lay down with a man to have children? Where did that intelligence go to then?
And
you didn't apply it at all.
Where did the intelligence and the high education go with not keeping the family as a family, with saying that you don't want this father in the children's life, or you don't want to be in a relationship with him?
Or you want to have this baby alone?
Yeah, I think things have gotten imbalanced, and I think if checks and balances don't fall into place, I think it's just gonna keep getting worse. And I think that we're living in a society, in a world where it's cool to be a single mother. I'm not saying it's cool, but people are trying to make it seem like it's a cool thing to be a single mother of a daughter and a son, and it's not, and it never was.
There are some single dads out there.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of single Afro-American and single Anglo fathers.
Yeah.
So there are single dads out there.
Yeah. And there's men out there with college degrees too, but I'm gonna be real with you. If it's a black man with a college degree, I'll be surprised when I find out they got a degree, because like we've been knowing one friend of ours for over 10 years, no, for probably 20 years. And we found out like on the 19th or 20th year of knowing him that he had a college degree. So I've not seen a situation where men just threw it out in the air like women do. And it's just, I don't know. Well, black men threw it out like black women do. I never see an Anglo that just makes that their forefront of who they are. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? They just live their life.
Within 3 minutes of a conversation, you hear that they got a bachelor's degree.
I was at this one mechanic shop waiting for some vehicle service, and it was a black female working at the counter, and then there was an Anglo, reading a book. So when he came to the counter to pay for his service, I witnessed this black female with her blonde weave turn into an Anglo right on the spot. And it was just really crazy. And she was like, oh, what are you reading? It was really crazy, like how she stepped outside of herself. And then she brought up the fact that, oh, I have my doctorates in such and such and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, because my family and this and that. I'm like, that was not necessary. You didn't have to tell the customer that you have your doctorates in such and such because you work at a mechanic shop. Why you ain't doing whatever your degree?
Man, I'm serious.
It's just crazy. I'm like, I see this and I hear it all the time. It could be on YouTube. It could be on TV. It could be in real life. It's just so many things. It could be something somebody told me about somebody they was dating or somebody they know, just on all areas. It's not necessary, black women, for you to always say that you got a college degree or you got a doctorate or whatever you want to call it, or you highly educated, or nobody even need to know if you graduated from high school or not. I mean, it's your life, because your life is basically dictated on your actions, not your possessions. So if you got a $300,000 house, if you're driving a Mercedes Benz or a Ferrari or whatever you're driving, those things technically they don't make you. Those are material items. You can lose that in the twinkling of an eye.
I was about to say.
So if those things make you, then who are you without them? That means you're nothing. That means you're nothing without a house. You're nothing without makeup. You're nothing without wigs and lashes and fingernails and all of those things. If those things make you, then without those things, you're nothing. And that's not the way life is supposed to be lived. But some kind of how, in our race, that's been indoctrinated as parts of being a female. Like, you have to get these things done. Those are rites of passages. And I've never seen that in the Anglo community. I've seen white women just be natural, beautiful white women. I'm pretty sure they do their things with getting highlights or getting this done or getting that done, but that wasn't the forefront of their existence. Because when you get these females now with all this hair glued on their forehead,
when I see some
this heavy makeup,
some young females or some young ladies that don't have any eyelashes, don't have any weave in their hair, don't have on any makeup, and I make a point to tell them how beautiful I think they are, and to keep it up. And that's the first thing I'll say is keep it up, because it shocks me to see it, and then see it from a younger person.
It's rare.
Yeah, see it from a younger person, like 20 years old, 19 years old, and they're working as working in Dollar Tree, or they're working in a grocery store or something. I always try to encourage and give them they props for doing that, because it's rare that you see it. It's so rare that you see it.
Especially these days.
2026, yeah, it's so rare that you see it.
And I give India Ari her props, because from when I first heard her music, throughout my time of riding with India Ari, she has been about, educating women on loving themselves and showing them and teaching them and expressing to them how beautiful being natural is. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure India Ari wore makeup and stuff, but India Ari was more natural. Whatever makeup she wore, she was never like painted like Dutch Boy. She was never painted like a Ringling Brothers clown with all, because I see females with all the colors, and it's like,
and then the lashes.
I never seen India Ari like that.
They have 3 and 6 inch lashes on, and the hair about 3 feet or 4 feet of hair.
And then with the hair, this is the other misconception. They find confidence in straight hair. That's copying off of white women. That's copying off Anglo women have straight hair.
Well, even the ones with the braids that's down past their ass, that's 4 or 5 feet.
To
and
each his own.
Doing this and pull it back and then throw it back.
That's just really,
That's just crazy.
Because we seen that the other day. What was his name? Tigger. His wife made the video when she was supposedly showing whatever he did. She had braids. And she's in the camera and crying, whatever she was doing, but she was like doing this thing with her braids. I'm like, okay, are we in pain or are we feeling beautiful? Like, what's going on with the? And I see this all the time where they'll sling their braids or bring them back for, and it's just, I don't know what it is, to each its own. But a lot of this stuff is just, I don't know, it's clowning. It's like clowns.
For you
like
to throw it back and then pull it back, throw it back, then pull it back.
It's
so
just, it's clowning.
Is this an exercise that you do? A hair exercise with?
It's funny. But this is what it is now. This is what
What's the little girl's song was? She whipped her hair.
Willow, I whip my hair.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know that song. I remember when it came out though. I don't know how it go, but yeah, I remember that song. Maybe they whipping their hair. But yeah, it's just I see a lot of clownery going on, tomfoolery or whatever they want to call it. Like
That's
it's
insane.
crazy. Yeah, love your natural hair. Like to each his own. Don't get me wrong. If you want to wear relaxer, if you whatever you want to do, that's your thing. We just speaking on where we at. You know what I'm saying? This how we like everybody else in the world. Everybody got opinions. You know what I'm saying? So this not made to offend anybody. But we just saying that it's so much more empowerment in just loving your natural self and just loving
and we got
the
sisters,
beauty that you are. Yeah.
And we've been through all that same thing with them.
Yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, it's just that materialistic life and that life of vanity for women, I think is dangerous. Because when you always go by how things look, you really know how things really are. Because a female, from what I've learned from my perspective, they'll make it look like everything is going smooth. They got everything done about them. And then when you find out the troubles and the things that they're going through, they got going on, you're like, wait, you know, so you've been just put together all of this time with all of that other shit going on. And then if you this beautiful and you can't keep a man, or if you this beautiful and the man that you're with him, not based on love, but what he got or what he doing for you. It's just, it's crazy. I don't know.
As soon as he's
to
gone,
each his own, whatever work for you.
Yeah, as soon as he's gone, you got somebody else.
Then
come
you
up.
find, because you're looking for somebody to make your life better. Because either you lazy, I don't know. And then that's not good for the daughters that's seeing this, because
or the sons,
because they gonna think this is how it's supposed to be. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is really crazy. But yeah, to each its own. I think that there's different ways that female can find themselves beautiful that don't always involve stepping outside of who you naturally are. Maybe you can modify and enhance things, as you go along, but you ain't gotta just become a whole new person. Like, it's not, if you love yourself, then love yourself. If you don't love yourself, then, and it's for men too, if you don't love yourself, then find a way to love yourself, because men go through, we go through things too. We're all human. Mm-hmm. And we just have to, we have to find the good qualities about ourselves. And if we don't have any, we have to create some, You have to make it where it's acceptable for you to be who you are. Like, I mean, for yourself, like, where you ain't gotta be trying to gain approval or validation from people.
Reinvent yourself.
Yeah, it's crazy. And not in I'm finna become somebody, I wanna be like Janet Jackson. I wanna be, you can be like them or whatever as an inspiration, but you can't be them. But yeah, I don't know. To each his own. It's crazy. But with the topic, when I go back to my grandma, like when we talk about modern women destroys their families, like I do know from the old energy, the things that I learned from my grandma were always things to stay grounded and to stay rooted and like, cause I go to my grandma and I might have went through a bad situation with one of my cousins, and I'll be like, Mama, I don't like such and such. She'll be like, don't never say you don't like nobody. I always say you don't like their ways. You get what I'm saying? So I'll be like, well, I don't like such and such ways. So it's like she always did something to take the rough edge off of it. You get what I'm saying? And my grandma was more of that person that you just had to keep working it back out. Like, and her kids that she raised, I think they had a lot of that energy, but maybe not the full package of that energy, because my mom, she was a part of the modern one. My mama was the destroyer of family. And I would say that because my mom was a single mom. I got to see, you know, my mom date different men, which is not good for a boy to see, and it's not good for a daughter to see either. My mom allowed separation in our household. So if it was ever a time that, say, me and my sister were at odds with each other or whatever the case, because me and my brother coming up, for the most part, I'm the oldest, so me and my younger brother were never really like at odds like that. But if it was a situation where me and my sister were at odds, my mama would just let it be what it is, instead of being that person to, you know how I told you, parents be like, y'all better work this out because I'm not going to be here forever, blah, blah, blah. And then I have situations where if me and my mom were at odds, my mom would ignore me. A whole week could pass through and she could act like I don't even exist. That's not good that's your child. You don't do that to your child. Yeah, I done had times, me and my mom are at odds, she'll just block me out. It'll probably be Monday when, say, we go through something, and then Saturday here, and she ain't said a word to me. You know what I'm saying? That's just how my mom was, and I think my mom was a part of this new modern stuff that's going on. But I think now it's even worse than it was then, because you get these females that are supposed to be women, but most of them act like girls. They act like little spoiled, entitled, bratty girls. But physically, they develop into women. They're doing things that women do. They having sex, they wearing makeup, they got a driver's license, they got their college degree. But somewhere down the line, they're immature little bratty girls that want everything their way or no way. That's what I realized when I have dealt with a lot of females. A lot of them they're not there mentally. And being a woman, it ain't just about how your body developed or the things that you do. It's your conscience, it's your spirit, it's your energy, it's your mentality. That's what womanhood is. It's not about having the ass and titties and all of that. That's something that's gonna happen physically, because as a man get older, what makes a man is the same thing. You know, your spirit, your mentality, your mindset, like where you at. That's what makes you a man.
The way you carry yourself.
Yeah, and you could be gay, straight, whatever the case may be. That's what makes you a man. You know what I'm saying? If you're a man or a female that want to be the opposite sex, that's a whole nother subject. So we not talking about that right now. But what makes you a man is you know, the things that you have about you, not just because you done developed, you know, physically and got other things going on, like, you know, body wise, but because that's something that's gonna happen anyway with time, with age. But it's, if we don't hit pause again and hit rewind and go back to how it was back in the day, then women being destroyers of families, it's just gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse. Because what I see now, when females have kids now, the majority of what I see, they want to raise the kid as a single mother, and you don't think you ever gonna struggle like as a single mother. You don't think you're gonna ever need help. Wouldn't it make more sense to have the father in the life? Because the way I see it, when it comes to straight relationships, I feel like the female is supposed to back the man up. I feel like in straight relationships, the man is supposed to be the head of the household, and then he got his female to back him up. You get what I'm saying? If any of your children turn gay, it's not to necessarily say that it's your fault, because gay kids come from single parent families, and they come from families where the parents are married and have been together their entire lives.
Big families.
So that part is neither here or there. Your children are going to develop into being who they're going to be. But as far as like straight relationship wise, to me, it make more sense for a female to want to have a husband, to want to have a protector there, to want to have somebody there that can lift heavy stuff. He might know how to do oil changes. He could cut the grass. Just those things that men do. Because if you a mother without a man, you finna have to pay for them services, or you finna have to become a man to do those things, to get out there and cut grass and oil change or whatever the case. Or you're going to have to just keep finding random men to fill in those blanks when you could have had a steady, firm man there. Yeah, it's just, a lot of it don't make any sense. And like I say, to each his own, you know, have your kids from whoever you want, however many you want, do whatever you want to do with your body. But it's just, you know, our little piece of the puzzle to, I guess, to make this world a better place, you know, with giving our opinions.
Then a parent that would say, if my child tell me they're gay,
yeah,
I want to disown them, all that kind of stuff, and then
saying that's not good. Like, I think that whoever your child develops into being, I think that it's necessary that you continue to love. You know what I'm saying? And I seen that more with the white people, Anglo people, that they receive more continued love and acceptance than our race. And you don't think that there's gonna be any black gay people, black gay men, black gay women? You don't think that's gonna exist? And what I done heard,
we don't have that in my family.
yeah, that's nonsense. Like, it's nonsense.
Everybody's family got somebody gay.
Yeah, and if you don't have nobody gay, everybody they covering it up. I guess they're doing a good job. If you got a complete family that's gay free, which is non-existent. If you got a family where nobody in your family is gay, it's a lot of behind the scenes DL behind the closet or whatever going on. Where people, that's if it's a family where you got two parents that they had 3 sons or more. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You think every boy is straight?
Yeah,
or girls, y'all want to keep putting it on the men. You think of, like, say a mama have 5 daughters. You think all of those 5 females are all straight? All 5 of them?
Shit, even if she had 2.
Yeah. If with 2, at least, if both of the females ain't gay, one of them gonna be gay. If it's 5 daughters, it's about 2 of them gonna be gay, and that goes the same thing for sons. You know what I'm saying? And it's a natural thing, and it's not nothing to be looked down on. It's not nothing to be hated on, but it's real talk. You get what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with it, you know? And then for these single mothers that's pumping all this femininity, don't be surprised if your son ends up gay because of all of the things that he's taking in from you. You get what I'm saying? You doing all of this in his face. You know, don't expect him to come up like He-Man or, you know, some hard dude. Whatever hardness he got is going to be female-based. And Tupac, I seen, it was an interview from him, because Tupac was raised by his mom. And Tupac said something to the effect that boys that's raised by single mothers are going to have feminine tendencies. So, I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. And I'm not saying it's good or I'm not saying it's bad, but if you're a single mother and you're raising your son, don't be surprised if he got female tendencies. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
That's all he's been around. That's all he knew.
Yeah.
You hadn't influenced him with any males other than the men you sleep with, and all the men that you sleep with ain't been good men because they ain't staying around.
Or maybe they were good men, and maybe it was her.
But I'm saying
she couldn't keep them
stay around.
Yeah.
And most men are not just going to jump in to try to coach or try to be a father figure to a child that he's not really, in good tune with the mother.
I think when a lot of them don't stay around, they see that it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, true enough, they probably gave their body to one another, and he probably, okay, yeah, she coming with way too much other package. She got 3 kids from 2 different men. She want everything her way. Because when them men walk into those single mothers' lives, them women don't soften themselves. They keep riding on that level that they on, and it's like the man gotta fit in, and I've seen this firsthand, where they gotta fit in, and then they just gotta go along with whatever she already got going. They not finna like submit themselves or downsize as, so they can settle or whatever. He gotta like meet her level or above, and she might not be on the highest level. Like, it's so much craziness, man. And I think that the lenses that people see things through is imbalanced, because in today's society, where we have females, women, ladies, whatever you want to call them, when we have them wanting to be equal to men, but then when they do something where they need to accept accountability for, and then people are like, oh, but that's a female. Oh, but that's your sister. Oh, but that's your mama. No, first of all, they want to be equal, so I think that we have to treat people equal. Mm-hmm. If a female punch a dude in the eye, he's entitled to punch her back in her eye. Just plain and simple. No, nothing else. No, you don't hit no woman. A woman is not supposed to hit a man. You get what I'm saying?
Maybe you don't want to punch in the eye. You might want to punch in the stomach.
Yeah, or the throat. So, it's just, it ain't going to be no eye for eye. It could be whatever, self-defense, but whatever society that we live in.
Because you might say, I don't hit women.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to hit her in the face. I'm going to punch this bitch in the stomach.
Yeah. And we all know that, yeah. I know females are strong too, but I always believe that a man is stronger than a female. So, yeah. It's just,
But okay, by the bottom line, nobody's supposed to put their hands on anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody supposed to put their hands on that person is wrong. So you gotta expect something to happen to you if you put your hands on that person.
And you know what I got so tired of hearing? Oh, he put his hands on me. He put his hands on me. When people hear that, they automatically fall into this female's her spell. Hit pause. Find out. Okay, so before he put his hands on you, what did you do? You get what I'm saying? What did you do? Did he just come home from work or just come to your house and just bash? He just did that out of the clear blue. What did you do? And
then his shirt just started ripping.
Yeah, I've grown up seeing women beat men. I've grown up seeing men beat women. I've seen grown adults fight. You get what I'm saying? I always took up for the female aspect of things because I was raised in a family that was predominantly women, and we had the leadership of women. We were led by women. We were taught by women. We were shaped by women. So for the boys in our family, and I'm speaking on my own behalf, I don't know what other males in my family would have to say, but from my point of view, all of the things that women did to shape our families, it put them front and center, like they were put on a pedestal. Like, because for so long, I never believed that women did anything bad. I didn't believe women lied. I didn't believe women stole, were thieves. Or I didn't believe, because I always seen women as the better of the gender. And if you got a boy growing up that sees women above men and he's going to be a man, there's something not balanced with that, Or if you got a daughter growing up and she see, well, I guess that's going to be from, her being raised by women, she's going to be just like them in a lot of ways, where she's going to see herself above men because she may have been raised by women that were dominant, that were leaders, that were in their man energy or whatever. So I think that's just going to flow that way for her. But if she grows up...
Especially if she sees women attacking men and getting away with it, cutting men, shooting men, running over men, she sees all that stuff, she's going to think that's okay. And that's what she need to do to keep her man in line.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. And coming up, when I was a child, and I'm pretty sure it was this way nationwide, anytime the police got called to a household over a domestic dispute, they just automatically handcuffed the man. I seen that. That
was back in the day. That
is so effed
no
up.
matter what the woman did, she could have hit the man over the head with a frying pan. And if he slapped the hell out of her, he's going to jail.
I seen that coming up.
That's how it was when I was coming up.
Yeah, that lets you know something is wrong.
She could hit him with her car. If he snatched her out of that car and threw her on the ground, he's going to jail.
That is crazy.
Yep. If he got up limping and drug himself to that car and pulled her out of that car and threw her on the ground, he's going to jail.
I seen that like a million times where police were called. And being a child, your mind is not fully developed, so you just automatically think men are bad because of what you thought. Okay, he going to jail, he went to jail. It could be your neighbors, it could be in your family, it could even be you. You get what I'm saying?
And the sad thing is, like, just what has been 3 years ago, this Anglo told me when we had a problem with this monster, this creep that we was living with, that if it got into my space, my personal space, and I pushed it, that he was coming back to arrest me. I already know that. I'm like, this is one of those old Anglos that's problematic, and he's got a badge on.
Shit, crazy.
But the other one said the opposite. She's not supposed to be in your personal space. If she pushed you, you call the cops.
Yeah, because if a man get in a female personal space, that's too close.
Yeah.
That's like you gotta defend yourself, because if somebody that close on you, you don't know what they're gonna do.
He's not a cop anymore.
They might choke somebody. They might shank you. You don't. If somebody coming in your personal space.
But his partner came back behind him and told me that.
Yeah, and that, I think that lets you know, because some of the police are programmed on that. It's a programming.
And I think he was trying to make something bigger than what it was out of a scene that was already neutral, because the creature wasn't even there. But he was trying to get me out of my frame of mind where I had control. He was trying to make me lose control.
It's crazy.
And I just showed him that, you ain't. You ain't getting no rise out of me over that shit with your big old gut.
But that lets you know that it is definitely a program and that has been in place for a long time to where.
But it's only for Afro Americans, because if an Anglo female put her hands on an Anglo man, she's going to jail.
Yeah.
And it's rare that they have to go out there, anyway. But they have problems like we do, but it's just different.
But I think that the time and day is going to come as time continue to advance and things continue to develop. It's going to get better, I believe, because right now, females is off the chain. Like, you hear females killing. I know this stuff been going on forever, but it's really crazy. And I'm going to speak on my lifetime. But I have never seen a time where so many females are doing stuff more. I'm hearing more bad female stuff being done than men stuff.
There are arrested more females now than they used to.
Yeah.
But they're still giving them too much leeway before they arrest them. They'll keep pushing their buttons until they finally had enough, and then they arrest them.
They're more tolerant of and where.
But if a male doing the exact same thing within the first second, he's already in handcuffs and in the back of the car.
It's crazy.
It takes the females to get on their nerves, keep doing the same thing. They'll tell her 20 times, 30 times.
It's crazy. So that's still an imbalance.
Yeah, I want the man get out of your car. They'll say it 30 times. This is the last time I'm telling you. How many last times is it going to be?
Yeah, that's.
This is the last time I'm telling you. Give me your driver's license. Get out of the car.
And then it'd be like 13 more times. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
They said that to the male twice. And by the third time, they break in the glass and they snatching them out of that car. Sometimes the second time.
It's whatever that is.
And I told you over and over.
You know what I would call that? If I had to give that a title, I would call it Eve's Curse. You know what I'm saying? That programming thing, I would call it Eve's Curse, because it seemed like in all situations, females are not held accountable for the things that they do wrong. It's like you just gotta dust it off. That's a female. Just be okay with it and deal with it. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be that way. Just like for the Christians in Genesis, if I'm correct, Adam was living there with the animals and doing his thing, and then God decided to create a female, which was the destruction of Adam being in Eden. You get what I'm saying?
As a helper to him.
Yeah, and that goes back to what I say. The female, I believe, is supposed to be an assistant for the man. Whoever get upset, that's just me. This is my opinion. You know, I feel like in straight relationships, the female is supposed to back the man up. And like you said earlier, that female supposed to be that nurturer, that mender. When things are going wrong, to come and be like, okay, well, let's soften this and not make it. That's how they supposed to be. Not this gung-ho Joan of Arc kind of, ride or die boss bitch. Like, it don't supposed to be that way. It don't supposed to be like that whole boss bitch mindset. I just think it's destructive, because what I'm seeing with most of the women that classify themselves as boss bitches, I've seen a bunch of destruction. I've seen a bunch of dysfunction. I've seen a bunch of imbalance with boss bitches. You get what I'm saying? Because if you're a boss bitch, that means you don't need a man. And if you got kids and you feel like you don't need a man because you're a boss bitch, it get confusing. Because, you're not going to live a life of perfection, and you're not going to raise balanced kids. Boss bitches don't raise balanced kids. Like, and then you got, what was that song, Beyonce, the Destiny's Child made by Independent? All the women who are independent, the shoes on my feet, I bought it, the clothes on. So I've seen situations where females rock hard to this song, and then they still get things done for them by men. And Beyonce specifically says in the lyrics about,
independent.
Yeah, she's talking about being independent, but it's a part where she says never depend on no one to give you what you want. Mm-hmm. She's saying that, but it's like they're jamming to it, but they living a life where they getting things done for them by men. So it gets really confusing. That song is speaking about independent women, and whoever all that applies to, gung-ho, do what you do. But how can you be rocking to that song and then you, first of all, if you married...
She said a car that she's driving, she brought it.
I remember something about the shoes on my feet, I bought it. The clothes I'm wearing, I bought it. I think the jewelry,
house I live in.
They basically saying that they depend on them.
I'm driving.
That probably was in there
But,
too.
and I'm saying if she said the car that I'm driving, so that means that there's a flat tire, she changed the tire. When there's an oil change, she changed her oil. If there's a breakdown, she fixes the car.
Or either pay somebody to do it, but yeah.
But I mean, then that's not independent.
That's not, you got. But yeah, and then.
All right, then back to as far as the house. Does that mean she's cutting home grass?
Oh, you got plumbing, water heater.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta break it all down, because if you're not doing all those things, you're not independent. Because you're paying somebody. Well, most men fix their own things. I'm gonna say not all, but most men fix their own things. The only time most men take their car to a mechanic is because they don't have the time to do it themselves. Because you're working, you can't do everything, but you can do some. And that's what you say about. That's what most men save their money by doing some things. You don't do every can, but some guys do everything. Some guys do what they can do, because there's only 8 hours, and you really got only 8 hours in the day.
Yeah, because you got to spend a part of it sleeping,
then working,
eating, and
then, and then if you got family, you ain't gonna. And things like houses and cars takes time.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's just that whole boss bitch and all of that. And I remember when I was young, when I was a teenager and I had jobs, and you might have female managers and they'll call her boss lady. Mm-hmm. I never liked that term, because I seen the energy that they carried that.
I don't like that term, period. I don't even like the boss man. Yeah,
but with the females, they carry this energy that, like, they wanted you to worship them. They wanted you, like, and it's a lot of females I know they want to be bowed down to, like, and like I told you, like, I can make a business call to a utility company or just whatever, and I can be on the phone with a female and I can say yes ma'am, but they never say yes sir. They never call me sir, but it's like I'll say ma'am. Or even in person, you could be talking to somebody, showing is a term of respect, a term of endearment, or whatever you want to call it, to just say yes ma'am. And I feel like if it's a female that has a man telling her yes ma'am, I think to keep the energy balanced and to keep it balanced, she should say yes sir back to him. Show him that type of respect.
I'll say 90% of the time I do get that.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't.
When I don't give it. It's just the same. It's just that way. If I say yes ma'am one time and I don't hear sir or mister, that you ain't gonna get it again. Yeah.
And now with guys, whether they Anglo,
I see their name tag.
Yeah, whether the guy Anglo or African American, I usually get a sir back. Like if I say yes sir to them, they'll give it back. Like, so yeah, it's just I don't know what that is. I gotta
say, almost 99.9% of Afro Americans, men, young men, I get sir all the time.
Yeah.
I gotta say that
it's
with
a
our
term
brothers.
of respect.
We do that. It's like natural. Respect. It's the females that have the problem.
And I'm gonna tell you what I feel when I tell a female yes ma'am. I feel, because I'm very empathic, like I can feel the energy. Something puts her over the situation, and it's almost like she's treating you like a boy because you're saying yes ma'am. So it's like rising feminine energy over this situation. You could be calling to find out when you're I don't know, say you got a power outage because of a storm and you're on the phone with a female, and it's like if you say yes ma'am, I don't know, I can feel the energy on the phone, I can feel it in person where they rise above, and it's almost like they're higher than you. I don't get that from Anglo women though. Anglo women, they call me sir, like I've had
Anglo
that.
Women,
I've had
Indian
that.
Women, Spanish women.
Spanish women call me sir. Yeah, but it's something about black women. It's like they want, for me personally speaking, they want me to boy down to them for whatever the case may be. I don't know. It's crazy. And then
one is you got a baritone voice, and I think for them, that's too much masculinity, and they want to try to chop it down.
But why?
Well, because that's what they are. They want to be the have the biggest balls.
I get that. Like, it happens. And like you said with Spanish female, it's like they take the time out to, like, if it's something like, well, we gotta call any company for something, I'ma just say, I be hoping there don't be no black female answer the phone, because I usually get unnecessary attitude. It's like they feel like I'm wasting their time, or they in a rush, or they don't do things accurately. Like, it's
I already told you with me.
It's crazy.
Right away, I'll hang up. I'm sorry, I will. If it was an Afro-American male, I'll stay on the phone and talk. But if it's something that I need to take care of, and I need this done the right way, I call that number and I hear it's Afro-American woman, I'm hanging up and I'm calling back.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's still her, I'm going to hang up again and I'm going to call back. If it seems to me like that's the only person there, that's when I'll try to figure out if I can get through this call.
Crazy.
If I can get through this call professionally.
It'd be crazy. I just have, but my fingers be crossed like.
It's sad, but that's how it is. That's exactly how it is.
And I remember,
but it's rare that I'll have a headache with an Anglo woman or a Spanish woman or Indian woman on the phone. A lot of times with Indian women is they over in India, so they don't know it's a language barrier that's going on. That'd be the biggest problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that,
they still have the respect.
They have right away. They're sir,
mm-hmm.
Mr. Upson, so or whatever. That it's always that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
if it's Shawanda, if it's Shaquana, or if it's Tanisha, or if it's Shaquita. I can't even
I know what you're saying with them. All of that, yeah. It's all that extra.
If you say something, they got something else to say about that.
Bonifa.
Mm-hmm. They'll keep going until you just hang up.
Yeah. I done had some of them hang up on me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm like, whoa. I know they just dropped the call. They just hung up. Like, yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, I just be hoping when them calls, when you call somewhere and then it's playing a little music and you waiting for somebody, I'll be like, please.
Like
it just be a lot of unnecessary attitude.
Let's say you're trying to get trash service, and you walk into a place, some place you do on the phone, some place you have to go into,
mm-hmm.
and you go to this place, and let's say I'm standing over here and you're standing right there. They're talking to me. And I'm trying to get the services, but you say that you live here too. So they will say, well, okay, if it's an Afro-American, she's going to run your name first.
And you know what?
She's going to run your name first to see if you had a bill with them.
Mm-hmm. And what is that? Like, y'all, was that... Yeah. What Kev talking about is a situation we've been involved in before where we went somewhere for service. And... we're both there standing at the counter, and it's a black woman with the nails and the heavy makeup and all of this extra stuff. She runs my name first to see if I had service for whatever. I'm there. Yeah, we're getting service as a unit, as a family, but that specific one was in Kevin's name, so that should have been her main concern. So she's running my name, but when the last time such and such, and I'm answering the questions and stuff. So my thing is,
thinking that that's what she's doing.
Yeah, because I'm trusting her and I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, and we're there in good neutral energy. But it took for us to leave, because I'm always thinking on things. Like if I have a conversation with you and we hang up the phone, the conversation didn't end when we hung up, because my mind, I think on a lot of things. So when we left, I say, Kevin, she ran my name, because if I had like an outstanding balance, she was going to say, oh, we can't give y'all service until... That what she was going to do.
Exactly.
Now, this is my thing. If we were Anglo, if we were white people, would she have done that?
No.
Yes.
She would have concentrated on the person that she's talking to.
Yeah. This is the thing.
Oh, Mr. Adams, how you doing? And that's how far as it would have went. She would have took Mr. Adams' name and ran his name and everything and found out that Mr. Adams had a old bill.
So that's what let me know. When it comes to how black women treat African American men, black men, they treat us less. And I'm not saying everybody.
Like boys.
Yeah, I'm not saying everybody. Like but the majority of the African American women that I deal with, they treat me less than. I run to what I call needles in the haystack, and I let them know that they are a needle in the haystack. I'm like, this is a rarity. This is a rare find, because the majority of the African American and black women I deal with, they treat me like a boy. And I'm way here in my 50s and I got gray hair on my face. You get what I'm saying? So what I want to say to that, what Kev was saying, by the time she ran my name, okay, what we're asking for could have been in both of our names because we good credit-wise. You get what I'm saying? So that's neither here nor there. But with you running my information, I'm thinking you got stuff together. Why the heck did she misspell Kevin's name on the bill? So you had extra time to run me. So that should let us know that you got this part together. Excuse me. We wind up having to call the company back, which was a black lady answered the phone. And we're telling her, okay, well, she misspelled, the name, and we're spelling the name, and it's like we speak in French. Remember, it took like six times for her.
Yeah.
It's not a complicated name, lady.
It's just different, but it ain't.
But
it's not that hard. It's only 5 letters.
Yeah, but this what I was gonna say too.
The same 5 letters 3 and 4 times.
And she
you
coming
still
up
can't
with
get it.
That was that energy
Why are you?
too.
Yeah. Why are you sitting behind the desk at a business doing a professional job and you can't even?
And check this out.
Remember, here
a
5.
friend. I don't mean to cut you off. A friend of ours that we was talking to about that, he said that the reason black women look down on black men is because of slavery times. He said that they were programmed to be that way, and I don't accept that.
That was then and this is now.
I don't accept that because
that was then and this is now.
We do things based on choice and decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't accept that. She probably hears something. It's still early.
Yeah, but
yeah,
this is almost the time when they're normally.
Yeah.
Second time, but this is almost close. We done did over an hour.
Okay, I'm trying to see anything else. Finish
what you were saying.
Oh yeah, so I didn't mean to stop you, but that linked into that that because when I'm doing people hair or whatever, we talk about different things, and we had a friend of ours that said that it stems from slavery, but for me that's unacceptable because
they use the women to break the men down.
Yeah, and right now it's like they don't even need to do anything because, and I don't accept it because I think with it's so many black women out there, I think that it's a decision. I think that it's a programming that can be broken. You know what I'm saying? If you was raised by a crackhead, that don't mean you got to be a crackhead. You get what I'm saying?
Because there's a lot of women, Afro-American women, that's not like that.
Yeah, and some of them could tell, oh, my mama was a piece of work, and or my older sister was a piece of work, but I'm different. So it's a program that can be broken. You get what I'm saying? Any female that can have kids with a man and that can first marry that man before they have the kid, because I see situations where they get pregnant first and then they'll get married. I guess for the image.
They said they don't want the child to be born
out of wedlock.
Yeah, they're not married.
So any female that can have a true, balanced, loving heart and marry that man, that father of their children, and sustain a lifetime relationship, I give props to those females. And when I say that, not that you there because of his past career or you found out he got a lot of money or he could do this or do that for you. Just being there because that is the man that you truly love, regardless of any material things. Yeah, regardless of any material things or how you view him or what he done did. Because if you viewing him, oh, he got money, or he did this in his past career, or he do that. If you looking at him like that, that's not love all the way through, because that's conditional. Because if you love him for those things, without them things, then that means that some of your feelings are gone. You get what I'm saying? But for those females that have gotten pregnant by that dude, that married that dude and sustained a lifetime relationship, and some females stay there through arguments and then all kind of ups and downs, and that's what a relationship is. It's no perfect relationship, right? Like Kev said, nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. The female shouldn't get so pissed off and so mad that she feel like she got to put hands on the man. The man shouldn't get so pissed off and mad that he feel like he got to put hands on the female. You're going to have your disagreements. You know what I'm saying? It's human to disagree because we are different. But it shouldn't never get to the point where somebody doing something to somebody.
That's when it comes in when somebody said, walk it off.
Yeah. If you punch somebody
in the head.
You feel like
you put your hand on somebody, you take a walk.
Yeah. And then back in the day, how I told you when the police used to come and handcuff the man and take him,
Mm-hmm.
I always used to hear them say, go take a walk, right? It's situations I know of where those men have went to take a walk and the female left the house, following him down the street talking shit.
Yep.
So I've seen so many different crazy situations.
I've seen it myself.
And it took for me to get older to really
and then
just
then
really
the
look
fight
at
happens in the streets.
And then he looking like the bad person again.
Instead of at home, it happened in the streets.
Because I done heard men like, now I went and took my fucking walk. This bitch followed me down the street talking shit. Then they get into an argument and the police taking him down all over again.
And she walked back home by herself.
Yeah, but when you programmed to always be on the female side or the woman side, it's like you dust it off, you sweep it under the rug, and life carries on. And it's not supposed to be that way. Everybody got to hit pause. If you did some effed up stuff, you got to be held accountable for it, you know? And I got females in my family.
Yeah, you can't get away with everything.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that you shouldn't get away with, period. You know?
I got females in my family that are destroyers of you know, you've witnessed this stuff firsthand.
Same in my family.
Yeah, we witnessed both each other stuff where females have done more bad than good. And I ain't never known it was that way.
Situations.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And in horrible situations.
It's crazy. And I think being a big brother in a family, if you're upright, and I always like to put that with whether it's male or female, if you're an upright person, then I feel like any siblings that's falling behind you, that's coming up under you, if you're an upright person, I think it's good if they can follow your lead and not compete with you, not challenge you, not try to throw dirt on your name, not try to be bigger or better than you. Because I mean, if you do all of that, then what is it? What does it lead to? If you feel like, okay, well, I'm finna be bigger and better than my big brother, or I'm finna throw dirt on his name and say some bad stuff about him, then what does that make you? Yeah. Are you getting cut a paycheck for that? Is an audience clapping for you somewhere? Like, what happens? You know, if you are
because decent people want to look at you like you're crazy.
They supposed to, yeah.
I said decent
people. Yeah.
Fools are going to be behind you laughing and talking.
Yeah.
Behind your back, they're talking about how stupid your ass is.
And that's the
for doing that shit to your brother.
That's the sad thing.
But in your face, they're laughing with you. Really laughing at you.
If you're a sibling, this can go both ways. If you're a sister or a brother, if you have children and your children don't know their uncle or their aunt, that's a destroyer of families, because under no circumstances are you supposed to limit the tribe, because they said it takes a village or a tribe to raise a child. True enough, you might have other people that play a part in your child's life or your children's life, but some people can't take the place of other people.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
My father was an abusive alcoholic, but one thing he did do, he kept us up with all our family members.
Mm-hmm.
On
that's
Sundays,
a man. Yeah.
Sunday, he drove us around the people we didn't even know our family, to let us see our family. And the ones that we didn't see, that we knew, he made sure we got in touch with all our family members. Not this generation.
Yeah, the women, because like I just said, your dad was a man doing that, because I'm feeling like that should be, a female should be 1,000% on that. Like, okay, well, no, you gonna get to know your uncle, or here's your uncle number, I'm gonna give your uncle your cell phone number. That's just a thing females supposed to do. If you got females that's not doing that.
My mom's wasn't in good terms with my aunt, but she didn't stop us from going there to see my aunt.
That's that energy. That's the energy that not this new shit. You get what I'm saying? That's the real bona fide energy.
The male and females of this generation in my family, they are weak as fuck. They are weak as fuck. Because they're the ones that destroy. There's great nephews and nieces that I don't even know them. They know me by name. They probably saw my face once or twice.
Same here, Kev. Same here. And like I say, if it's a sibling that has it to where, because some people be like, oh, my family, this is us, you know, and then they push everybody else away. If you doing that, if you did that, that's a disservice to them children, because like I said, some people can't take the place of another person. Children coming up, and in my family too, like my grandma kids, it was just all intertwined and intermingled. If you had adults that were at odds with each other, for the most part, us children didn't know. You get what I'm saying? If it was my mama against one of my aunts, I still have my aunt phone number. If I wanted to spend a night at their house for the weekend, I'm there. Whatever this is now, is imbalanced, it's childish, it's selfish, it's so many bad things. But when you have an adult that has lived a decent life, you're in your 60s, I'm in my 50s, there's a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of energy that can be passed on to the youth. You get what I'm saying? That energy that you have, that's Kevin, I don't care. Like, say for instance, if it's one of your sisters and you don't know her grandkid or her child or whatever, the energy that you have of being UPSON, of being the bloodline, she could go have 10 other men to be in that child's life or those children's life. Still, the energy you got, none of them can't create that. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You have a lineage, and I'm speaking on myself as well. There's a lineage, there's family stories, there's a connection that no other people can replace. They can't duplicate it. They can't. It's a one of a kind thing.
When
So
you look at the pictures, and you saw a family pictures of them, their gathering of them, that was one of the most saddest pictures I ever seen in my life. Because when I look at the group of my grandfather, my father, my uncles, and my aunts, my cousins, older than them, they look more healthier. I don't know what the hell is going on with this family, and seeing their group of family, I'm like, wow.
it's just
They're just like, you can see them spiraling down.
These are some good times.
Yeah, it really. I don't know what drugs and alcohol and whatever else in their lives they done flooded their bodies with, and their minds are just it's sad. It's really sad.
And I don't think people.
I know. I don't want to part. I'm glad they're really. I'm sorry that things happen that way, but I'm glad they're not in part of my life right now.
I don't think people looking
the strangers that I've met that replaced them is much more better than having them in my life.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think people looking at things, the whole picture of things. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, like with my sister, with my sibling, I don't think she looking at the whole picture of things. Like, if you don't want your children affiliated with their uncle, like, it's really crazy
That's
to me.
unfair.
Yeah.
Because she don't want the kids to know the truth.
Yeah.
The uncle got too much knowledge of what happened, of the whole,
of the real story.
That's
thing.
what that's about.
Brainwash.
Yeah, that's what that's about.
And if a person is raising their kids brainwashed, that's crazy.
That's all that's about. I don't know what shit.
It's something wrong with that.
I couldn't even tell you what this shit is in my family. Yeah. But I know what that is in yours.
You raising
that's
your kids on brainwashing. Yeah. You don't want
They don't want the truth to get out. They want the truth to die with them.
That's crazy.
And if the child's smart enough to find you and ask you questions that they know something's wrong because you know mama ain't that bright.
Yeah. But you know how I am? That person and their seeds, I just let it be. Because I know they say, in a lot of cases, they say the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
But one of those apples sound like they brighter than the tree.
It could be,
One of those apples sound like they brighter than the tree. But that's the problem.
It's crazy.
Because if that child ever decides, you know what, nothing is adding up, making sense what mom said. And then the other uncle, God knows.
And this is what I'm going to say. This will let you know, like you said, decent people should see what's really what, right? If you got a situation where you got this black female that's gunning for her brother, scared of everybody else in a family, but can stand up and challenge and come for her brother, but won't do anything to anybody else in the family. If you have that and a lot of dirt that been thrown on his name, and how horrible of a person is this person? Like, if somebody's just constantly hearing a bunch of bad stuff about a person,
well, the average person is going to want to know the truth. Yeah, and the only way you're going to know the truth is go to the source.
Yeah, they got to want to know the other side of the story.
You have to go to the source. That's what the source is.
It's crazy. But what I've seen with a lot of black females, they'll just take it in and accept it as if, because I got cousins that I know that ride with it. They ride with it. You get what I'm saying? And that brings us back to the person you were talking about earlier about the police situation who we was renting from.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I can say that I got from her that stuck with me, she said you could be one person standing in your rightfulness and your truthfulness, and there going to be a million people over there standing together. But she said stand in your truth. The truth is always going to shine. But that's the key to the point of what the thing was saying. You're standing in truth. Yeah.
not just your truth, but you're standing in truth. You know the truth and the real shebang.
Mm-hmm.
There's other person over here with all this fictitious,
with all the millions
fake,
of people.
Not only I'm talking about what they standing in.
Yeah.
All of this fake smoke and screen stuff with lies.
Yeah.
And deceit.
Yeah.
This person standing in truth. So it doesn't matter how many hyenas are over here.
Yeah.
So it can be a flood of hyenas, but this lion is standing tall because it's the truth.
It's crazy.
So that's the difference between the two.
And that's where I learned you have to accept it for what it is and keep it moving. Because in today's society,
you can't beat yourself up. You can't knock yourself down for bullshit, because that's all it is. Mm-hmm. Let that bullshit stay where it is. Mm-hmm. Keep your life flourishing and going, because pretty soon that's going to fall apart.
Yeah. And the scary thing for the kids and for just society is that they go by how things look. And what I've learned with most black women, they'll do their makeup, they'll put their wig on, do their lashes, their fingernails, and they consider her together.
You can take 24 karat gold, pure diamonds, and put them on a pile of shit. Mm-hmm. That's still a pile of shit. It's just got it's a pile of shit with diamonds and gold. So it doesn't matter how you dress up any garbage. It's what's on the inside that reflects on the outside. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, but this modern day thing, I just think, I'm gonna be real with you, I think it's gonna continue to get worse, because the females that's effed up, they're training their daughters. So I think it's just gonna keep advancing, and by the time today's females' kids have had kids, it's just gonna keep getting worse, to where I think families are gonna be just scattered and dispersed. And I'm speaking on the black community.
It's gonna fall on the individual.
Yeah.
Because we are all individuals.
Yeah.
We all have had bad people trying to influence our lives. Does it mean that all of us came out bad? No. Because everybody knows right from wrong. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows right from wrong, and you know when somebody's feeding you a bunch of bullshit, and you know when somebody's telling you the truth. Mm-hmm. And especially when you see them with your own eyes. Mm-hmm. I remember aunts and uncles when I was a child, seeing some of the things they did, and I knew that person. Okay, and I said to myself, I feel sorry for them because I know they drank a lot. Mm-hmm. But if it weren't for them drinking, they were good people. Mm-hmm. But you can't pull the wool over everybody's eyes, and then it falls on the individual. If they want to just be a pile of shit, they're gonna be a pile of shit. If they want to be better, they're gonna strive to be better.
And what I seen, like, from being on the outside looking in, like, your family situation is that you have a certain structure and discipline about you that, honestly, only other person I see got that is your oldest brother, and the one that lives in a whole nother state that he been away from the family for forever. And his
wife, I'm gonna say wife. Mm-hmm. His wife have never had any action with my sisters. Mm-hmm. She met them one time, and my brother they done been married over 40 years. Yeah. And she never wanted to be around them again. It's
like whatever energy he has, because he's the oldest brother. I see you adopt that, absorb that. You took on a lot, because that's the only other person in your whole, with all the siblings you got in your whole family, that's the only other person I can see with the same structure and discipline.
I kind of mimic myself after him.
Yeah, that's a good thing, because that's your older brother. That's what I say. If you have an upright older sibling, it's nothing wrong with following that guideline. That makes life easier to me than to be some younger person. Imagine the life of if you was competing against him or challenging him and trying to be bigger than him. It won't make any sense.
Him and Lester is like my character. You'll see parts of him, and you'll see parts of my brother Michael in me.
Imagine a life where you just, every time you talked about your older brother, you just kept throwing dirt on his name, just saying all bad stuff about him. What brilliant person would that make you?
I'm telling you.
How hard would you shine in knowing he's a good person and you steady saying bad things about him?
On him.
Yeah, so it's crazy. But out of all of the people in your family, I can think of the only person that I see with the structure and discipline that you have, I only see it from him and nobody else.
Yep.
Nobody else.
He was a young man. He moved out when he was like almost the same age I was when I moved out. He was 17 years old. he went to New York at the worst time in history, how New York was. And he made it he retired from a job for 43 years.
Yeah.
43 years he lived in New York and by himself. Can nobody, anything anybody have to say about my brother, it's got to be lies. If it's not anything you heard from me, they're telling lies. They're telling straight up lies. That man was by himself and he made it in New York.
And New York is rough.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, every time I would hear the news, that's one reason why I stopped watching the news, because you'd be so scared, because I know my brother's up there by himself, and there was a time when a lot of horrible stuff was going on, and then first thing you think about is, dang, Lester been by himself. You know, here I am with my older brother Michael, I got Tony, I got Pat, you know, then the younger one's under me. He's up there by himself.
Yeah.
My uncle and my aunt was there, and then a couple of my cousins, but still, he's in a household by himself at 17. And he made it.
He pulled through,
He sure did.
And then, I mean, the impressive part is that he's in his 70s and he still works. You know,
not
he's
addicted to no drugs.
No alcoholic or nothing.
He smoke a cigar every now and then.
And that's the thing I was going to say, too. So you got, like, when you get somebody that has a good structure and discipline about him, when you got people that's on lower grade energy, it usually, I don't think it mixes well, because you got, like, crabs in a bucket type of mentality people, and then you got people that when a certain person come around, they know that person light is really shining bright, and they light not shining like that. So I think it don't usually blend. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe, because coming from Miami, there was crab in a bucket mentality big time, and then you actually see me get back into that and had to pull myself out of that, because all of those years, like when my mom passed away, all those years that I didn't deal with family, it's like those were some of the most successful years of my life, with the shops and the hair show competitions and all of the traveling and all of the various things that we did.
And been around celebrities.
Yeah, those, and it's crazy how the most shiniest moments in my life they were during times when I didn't affiliate with my family. So I don't know what that means spiritually. Like, I don't know if other people go through that, but when I got back indoctrinated and affiliated with my family, that's when like bad spirits got on me again. And I feel like I became kind of dark. And it's like, with me not dealing with people close hand like I was before, I came back up to surface again. I don't know what that is.
It means that dark energies around them. That's all they welcome. They welcome that energy in. And they've been immersed in it.
I was back with crab in the bucket mentality. Yeah. So it's like all of the things that I've done prosperous with my life. First of all, with leaving Miami, being back indoctrinated into that, is like it didn't matter. This is what we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, jealous, backstabbing people.
It's crazy.
And they see you shining and something. Like, oh, who do you think he is? He doing this, he doing that. You know, he got this going on.
It becomes like, and I've never been a competitor with. I ain't never looked at nothing like that. It took you opening my eyes to say, oh, I think such and such, you know, they could have been jealous. I ain't never looked at nothing like that. I always just been Steve, just doing what I do. I ain't never stopped it. My eyes are open to the fact that people are jealous and competitive. I ain't never looked at that like that.
Yep.
I just was doing me. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like if people got to focus, if you have a goal that you're striving for, if you focused on that, there's a lot of other stuff that you're not really going to pay attention to because you got your eyes on the prize. You get what I'm saying?
If you got people that's doing positive things and they got good things going on in their life, and you're trying to get there, and you got questions, you know, well, Dad, what I'm doing, what I'm not doing that he's doing. Maybe I need to ask him some questions.
And there's nothing wrong with that, yeah.
I mean, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, we
that's
inspire
my big
each
brother.
other.
That's that's my what I need to do to get this going on in my life, so I can get out of this rut that I'm in.
And see, with my sibling situation, I've never had that, because it's like, I know when I feel what I feel, because I'm very empathic. My siblings have competed, they've challenged, they've tried to bury me under dirt and throw dirt. That's what I've experienced, and that's what it's been. And like I told you, since childhood, living with my mom, growing up, there's never been a balance. Like, anything that was done to me, whether And I'm not making myself like the victim, you know, because we all get bad stuff done to us, and we all do bad stuff to people. You get what I'm saying?
Good things
but
happen
I'm
to bad
talking
people,
about,
it's like bad things happen to
yeah,
good people.
exactly. But I'm talking about like the structure and the basic foundation of what a family should be. It was completely imbalanced from being a part of my mom's household all the way until moving out. And it was that single mother thing again where, like I told you, my grandma was my outlet. My grandma said, anything I need to talk about, anything in the world, she's here. That took a weight off of me, but then it got to this point like, oh, Steve tell grandma everything. And that's when, you know, things came to me that my sister saying, oh, he had me like that too, which I told you that was a lie, because that bond that me and my grandma had, nobody else was a part of that. And then my sister has always been more like my mama, so why would she be talking about my mama when that's who she's like? Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? And when I say that, she took a lot of my mama bad ways. You get what I'm saying? A lot of us have our parents' good ways and they bad ways. Mm-hmm. She took a lot of my mom bad ways, and then
I had a mom and dad, and it was still unbalanced.
Yeah, it's no perfect family.
I was 9 years old, and I was helping pay bills and keeping food and stuff.
Yeah, now that when you told me that, I'm like, yeah,
with a working mother and
with
father,
2 parents, yeah,
working, both of them working. And then I had a big sister and a big brother that lived in the same household.
Yeah, and 9 years old, that's 4th grade. Yeah. So yeah, that's.
I got tired of it. Like, my dad had a lawnmower in the backyard that he didn't know how to fix. I took up shop and I fixed that lawnmower, and I was making money with that lawnmower. Before I did that, I found out that you can return Coca-Cola bottles and get money for them. And when I found that out, I saw so many people got these bottles on their back porch and waiting for the trash person to pick it up. I started going to get there, asking them, can I have your bottles? And then go to the grocery store and get a cart, one of their carts, and fill that cart up. Take them home, wash and clean them up, because at stores,
they want them sticky.
They'll take them faster if they're clean and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I clean all my bottles, and the next thing you know, I had a daily routine where I would go and get certain bottles. I know when that household would have their bottles out, I go there. They said, just get them. You know, don't even knock them door no more. You know, I have them here for you. Just get them. So a lot of times when they seen that I was cleaning them, they would clean them for me. Mm-hmm. So I like, damn. So that was just easy money then. Mm-hmm. So I had that. Mind you, like I was in the 4th grade. Mm-hmm. So all summer, that's all through the winter, that's all I did. That kept money in my pocket. So when my moms and them would see me, I'll have more money in my pocket than my mother and my father did, and they're working.
Wow. Yeah.
You know. And I kept it that way for all the way to once I got out of high school. But the thing about it was that wasn't good with my mother was she took advantage of that, and instead of her having me put my money to the side for me, she was using my money in the household. Oh, yeah. And I don't think that's right for a parent to do any child, especially if you got 10 kids. Well, you got one child that's more focused on saving and making money than you are. So why are you taking this child money and you can't even control your own money?
See, that wouldn't have been the thing.
I went further. I ended up like my comic books. I had a comic book that I saw Grit newspaper and the 5-cent newspaper, and then like the seeds of flowers and vegetable seeds. I started sending out for those. I'm doing a good with selling seeds and selling these little 5-cent newspapers. She's taking my money. Yeah, I come back. I got to send that money back in to get newspaper so I can keep my seeds. And, she messed that up for me. Okay, so then after that, what else after that? Like the bill, they couldn't keep their bills up. She put bills in my name. Yeah. So I already ruined my credit as a child.
That, yeah, I remember people doing that.
It just went on and on and on. And this is from two working family people and a family with 10 kids, and they just kept, the matter of how far it gone kept going. It just kept. It's more and more and more and more. Until I should have been wise enough. I wish I would have moved out before I was 16. I would have had more money saved up for myself. But it was me feeling sorry for looking back at when I was doing good. When I moved out and I ended up living with my brother Michael in Virginia, I was doing good. I come to visit, and then I see like, damn, ain't nothing changed. The house is messed up, and all the kids are bigger now.
Everybody,
you know, I'm like, damn, they still, you know, still running around like this. And then listening to them, they sound sad, you know, because they was. So I try to make them happy about taking them to the movies and buying them clothes, buying them shoes. I know how fast they were running through shoes and clothes. So I mean, it was just, I mean, it's sad that that's how Afro-American. You don't see that with Anglos. You never see anything like that in Anglo families. That's only in Afro-American families.
Well,
and my brother Michael, I said Michael was honest with me. Michael said, "You need to start saving your money." He used to tell me that all the time. You're spending all your money on these on these kids. I know you love them. That's your brother and your sister, but that's just your brothers and your sisters. In the future, you're gonna need that money. You're gonna be, you're gonna be. He kept telling me you're gonna be sorry.
And you know what I was gonna say? I gotta say, I have a strong feeling that Anglo families show each other more better love and more stronger love than African American families.
They show each other real love because we gotta be tough love. You gotta you know, and then we had tough love, but it wasn't for certain things. It's only certain things. Mm-hmm. Like if I would have had tough love and made my mom take, you know, if I would have just went to somebody in my family, cousins, we had cousins wanting because my mom's had so many kids, and they go, no, if you get one, you gotta get all of them, you know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I gotta say, my mother and them was not really, you know, they messed up as they wasn't. You know, I know nobody's perfect.
Yeah, and then the Anglos, like I was gonna say too, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Anglos out there got bad stories to tell about their family, but I think for the most part, I think that their race show each other more genuine love than our
and
race.
They tell when they send their kids out to go to work, that money is theirs.
Yeah.
That money is their kids' money. They don't mess with their kids' money.
And then you know what I've seen too, like people that we've known and dealt with friends, when it's a relationship, their wife usually lets the husband lead. Like she backs him up. And any situation where I've seen where it was a black family with husband and wife, it was like happy wife, happy life. Everybody bowed down to the mama. But when we would be at like different Anglo friends' house, even with Keith and them, you get what I'm saying? The white woman is a partner to her man. It's like she ain't like, yeah, I'm the boss, bitch, I'm running this. He bowed down. I ain't never see that from them. Yep. So, and I'm not gonna say that that's attributed from slavery. I think those are decisions that females make that they want to get comfortable with, and this is how it is. Like, take me as I am, or don't take nothing at all. You get what I'm saying? That's what I think happens with that. Because
after slavery, after the government comes into the black Afro-American family and said, if you put the husband out, you get a check. And that went on for so many years. But you can't tell me that every family.
That was a decision too, though, because they didn't have to do without the man. So that means,
even though some of them were doing that and then was sneaking, the man was still there.
Yeah, he had to be gone.
Yeah, he just had to be there when the government showed up.
But that didn't have to be a decision. They could have chose to be with their, like, I want my kids with their father. We finna rough this through. We finna make this work. Because what happened, once that thing got old with the whole welfare food stamp system, the new thing became child support. He get her pregnant, and because you remember a close friend of ours that used to do hair when she had the twins. She said, "Oh, after I have these babies, he could leave. I'm just gonna put him on child support." I used to look up to her. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, until that.
I used to look up to her until she made them statements. I'm like, wait, so she like all of the. She said he can leave, and she just gonna put him on child support. So it was like the child support kind of became a replacement from welfare. It's crazy. Like, that's a choice right there, because why would you say that he can leave? Why would you not want this man there with his kids?
With his children.
You let him have sex with you, and you let him ejaculate in you and get you pregnant, and he could leave now? Like that, I didn't see her no more the same after that. Like, it's just amazing when you have been brainwashed all your life to think perfection about women, and then you get older and then you start seeing things different. Like, it's crazy.
And there's only been a handful of Afro-American women that you heard that had problems with their man, and they was like, well, he's taking his son.
Yeah, needles in haystacks. Yeah,
he's
needles
taking
in
his son
haystacks.
because I can't raise his son.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know?
But yeah, this been a good conversation, and yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was necessary. And trying to see, I think that's it. Yeah, but then what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's it. If there's anything else we need to talk about in regards to this, we'll have a part 2. And
so this discussion has not been a bashing.
Yeah, not at all. And y'all know
it's been eye opening, because this is about the Afro-American race. I don't see much of this in any other race other than ours. And we only talking about things that we know about. We
speaking on our personal experiences. We speaking from our point of view. Just like everybody else in this world has an opinion, we have our opinions too, and
we're just sharing it.
Yeah, our podcast, as we always say, is designed to re-empower men. It's not bashing women or putting women in the dumpster or dragging them, but there's not enough male empowerment going on in this world today. Everything is becoming feminized, and it's like an order. Whether you straight, whether you gay, bisexual, trisexual, unilateral, whatever your thing is, it's like to survive in today's society, it's like you have to think like a woman. You have to feminize yourself. And if that's the thing that you want to do, then it's all fine and dandy. But if you're a person that don't think like that, don't operate like that, don't live like that, you shouldn't be forced to have to abide by those, because there's some men that they're like just straight up masculine, like they could have been raised by their granddaddy, their daddy. It's some men that's really hard, then you got some soft men, then you got some like lady men. Like it's different variation. And the same thing with females. You got females that were raised by their grandma, their mama. They're, feminists, and then you got some females that are tomboys. Yeah, you got some females that are daddy girls, tomboys, and then you got some females that's just straight up like, "Argh." So it's different levels of both genders on different aspects, but it's like the overall, what I'm saying from my point of view, the overall accumulation of things is to where now today's society is like everything is feminine geared, and it's like it's not anymore male importance going on like it should be. You get what I'm saying?
It should be masculine and feminine people.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be just feminine.
Yeah, and then
it's never been a man's world.
Right.
It's never been a man's world.
It's always been everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I know they say that they use that term. It's been a man world for so long. Now it's time for women to rule. That's a lie. My entire life, it's been more feminine energy than anything. Just that more men been over certain things, but it hadn't been just a man's world.
And then the thing about it is like going to the Bible. If people want to go by the Bible, God created man first, and supposedly, women were made from the rib of men, so women are the subgender of the thing. And that's not calling nobody less than, but it's like, if you were created to be, to have somebody back, to be somebody's help or whatever, how can you go from that to trying to run things and be the leader? That's just like, let me see how I can say, just like say if we hire an assistant to help us with our daily living and things, how can it be that assistant goes from assisting and helping us to wanting to run us? And they were brought into our lives to be our assistant. Mm-hmm. And somewhere down the line, it's like now we're doing things to accommodate them, to make them happy. It's backwards thinking to me. And then I think that if you live that life, somewhere down the line, it's gonna
crumble.
Yeah, it's not gonna stand like a strong empire. It's not gonna stand like a strong foundation. And I feel like you creating that's not even a legacy really. But if we had to call it a legacy, I think you're creating a bad legacy.
That's like they said, man built this world. That's pretty much all the foundation of how this society runs, men built it. How can women then turn around and try to take over it? That doesn't make any sense. So are you going to keep everything going?
Yeah.
Are you going to fix the streets, the the leg twister thing. We already went through that with women climbing poles. Are you gonna go in the sewers and fix those gas lines and the plumbings, and are you gonna do all those things as well? Because that's what it's gonna take to keep everything going.
And before they can even get to doing that, I think they gotta know how to keep a family together. You know what I'm saying?
Can't even do that.
Those are the ABCs, the building blocks. The family
been a
first.
30 year, 35, 40 year backward slide.
Yeah, it's crazy. If a female, and I'm not gonna say this like being a feminist, but if a female ain't got a dude fighting her, now if she fight him and he fight her back, then that's balanced. But I'm pretty sure there's some men out there that just fight females, just like there's some females out there that just fight men.
I've seen some idiots that was like that.
But if a female got a man in her life and they not fighting, they gonna have their disagreements or whatever. If it ain't involving violence and she still don't want to be with him, it's obviously something wrong with her.
But
on the level of selfishness or childishness.
80% of the time, I've seen women just hitting on men.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't have a conversation. He's doing this.
Yeah.
She just
that's not supposed to be that way. Because like you said, with the Kev was talking about this situation where this man was driving a public bus and he had this unruly female passenger. Whatever energy she had against him, you know, she all pointing at him and cursing him out and saying bad things to his face to the point of where she actually spit on him. He pulled the bus over. He took his seatbelt off, and after she did all that and spit on him, he reached back, bam! He had the door, but he punched her so hard that she flew off the bus, and she had a fake ponytail on her head. That ponytail came off. When he did that, it's people in the bus saying, "Hey, you don't do that to her. That's a female. That's a woman. You don't do that." All of that time, when she was picking and probing and doing all of this to him, nobody said anything to her that, "Hey, that's a man. You don't treat a man like that. And hey, he's driving the bus. All of us is on this public bus. We don't need to get, they don't need to get in no accident or he need to be focused." They let her do her because it was a black woman. They let her say everything in the book to the point of where she spitted on him, and people actually recording it. Like it was entertainment, but
that is one of the most feminine things I can say that this generation's got. They'll stand there and watch somebody get beat down to a pulp to unalive and record stuff.
Yeah.
That's the most what's the word? What is that? Passive aggressive? Not even aggressive, but passive. That's the most passive thing. You can stand and watch somebody get beaten down,
and they record,
and you're recording it. Yeah. And you better stop doing that. You're standing 5 to 10 feet away from this person, talking with a camera, phone.
It's crazy.
You're not doing anything physically to help this person.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's this generation. Now, the person that caught that back in the 90s, that did that with
Rodney King,
they were on the balcony.
Were far, yeah.
They were, and that kind of saved the story, the narrative of what happened, because they would have just been their word over his.
And it's funny you
even though they still got off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the public actually saw what happened.
Yeah. And you know what you saying that made me think about the George Floyd situation, right?
That's the only reason I brought it
Not
up.
Promoting violence or anything, nothing. But if you see a situation, I feel like if you see a situation where somebody's killing somebody, and you there recording it,
if you cared enough, you should.
It's so many things. And I'm not saying go. It's so many things that can get, like they could have called the police on the police.
All of the amount of people that were standing around, they could have just rushed them, just pushed them off of them.
Something different,
he's taking everybody to jail.
And it's
that's what. If anything, he's taking everybody to jail. At least everybody going to be alive.
Right, but everybody going to jail. Yeah, and it's a thing where it's another video that's recorded where somebody was drowning and people was recording the person drown instead of jumping in the water to help the person. They was recording somebody.
Now, the only thing I can say about that is, from somebody that almost drowned, you can't just jump in the water to hate unless you're a professional swimmer, or you are a lifeguard that's that actually took up lifeguarding to save somebody, because a drowning person will pull another person down.
That's true too.
I had to fight a person that tried to drown me. That's how I learned how to swim. So but still, I would not record a person drowning. I would try to find something to throw in to save them, or do something. I wouldn't stand and record them dying, unaliving. So
I know what I wanted to say, and I'll be finished. From our modern women destroyers of family. So with the sibling thing, how we said a lot of females take up for other females without really knowing the full story, hearing the other side. In my family, this me hitting rewind, because you remember a lot of the stuff that went on bad between me and my sister, and my brother sent me literal screenshots of conversations that he's had with her, where she said just so many bad things about me. And I'm like, well, I don't even talk bad about her like this, but you for me, well, from my point of view, what I see with her is that she's scared of everybody else in the family, but she's not scared of her brother. I'm like the only one in the family that she will attack, fight, talk bad about, and don't care if it goes public or whatever. And I've never done anything bad to her. She don't know that I had her back when a lot of the people that she so-called, been close with or in communication with, a lot of them, it's a lot that she don't even know why I stood for her and put things in place from people saying things about her. You know what I'm saying? She don't know that. So what I'm getting at is that from that, cousins that I know, usually when you have younger cousins that, I ain't insulting nobody, but when you got younger cousins, when I say the word ignorant, I'm talking about ignorant as in not knowing the full story. They fall under the things that are glitzy and glamorous, or you can appease them and you can win them over with material things. You get what I'm saying? When you got somebody that's not there to defend themselves, a lot of weak people.
I'm about to say, that's still a weaker person.
A lot of weak people.
Because if you're gonna want to take up for, it's one thing of just taking up for somebody, and it's another thing if it's family, to know the truth. Mm-hmm. If with family you don't want to just side with anybody. You want to know what the truth is. Yeah. And the only way you're gonna know the truth is to hear both sides.
So yeah,
if you're not gonna listen to both sides, I mean, you're just one of those weak, insignificant people that need to just keep on going with your life.
And yeah,
because you're not looking for the truth. You're just looking to jump on the bandwagon. With some bullshit.
So with this one female cousin of mine that I know ride hard, with my sister. This was when I used to deal with that family part of the social media that I don't deal with anymore. But she posts something when something got heated up, talking about she will always love her sister and she would never do anything bad to her sister, right? I'm like, okay, somebody talking. Why would you post that? What about your brothers? You got brothers. You ain't speaking on them. Then a male cousin of mine said he gonna always love his sister. I'm like, somebody talking. You get what I'm saying? You can read into stuff, cause but to make a long story short with that, it's like you get to the point where you got to know when to say when. And I know of fellow podcasters and people, cause this is therapy for so many of us. And when you tune in to different people's podcasts, people talk about their lives. People talk about things that's going on. And when it comes to family, I think that we have to know when to say when. And they always say blood thicker than water, blah, blah, blah.
That's not always true. If you got toxic people, you need to get them out of your life.
Yeah, but
toxic people, regardless of their brother, sister, aunt, mother, father, toxic people need to be cut loose.
Yeah, and the thing about the blood thicker than water, first of all, without water, there's no blood. Water is the beginning of all things. Water is the basic foundation.
Of life.
So blood and water shouldn't even be compared, because without water, there's no blood. So it's like when it comes to family, relatives, I think that we as people, we got to look at family like we look at everybody else in the world.
That's all they are.
And you got to know when to say when. If you were stuck under a household, because you with your immediate family, your siblings, your parents, or parents, single parent, you're stuck in that situation until you get older and you're able to become who you are. that's when you really find out who is who, when everybody's living their own life and making their own decisions. It don't always go parallel hand in hand where you're with a specific sibling or a cousin or such and such for the remainder throughout life. It don't always happen that way for everybody. Some people keep it that way where they in contact with their family for a lifelong, but they done drove each other crazy. Some people done put hands on each other. Some of them were fake, because I've seen a lot of situations where you got this perfect family, but then when you look at them good enough, okay, they fake.
That's the group of hyenas that's together right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're living fake. They can't stand each other, but for some reason, they like they said, misery love company.
Yeah.
For some reason, they like to stay together like that.
And if you notice,
false precinct to people that they're such a close, tight knit family.
And if you notice, a lot of them that be grouped like that, they have a bunch of different problems going on. The stronger people, the lions of the family, I think they know how to run free. But when you got that cluster of crippled people, it's a multitude of different things going on, from people that can't keep a relationship, from people that got kids that they ain't taking care of, from people that's on drugs, from people that's alcoholics, from people that can't keep a job and always asking people for money, to people that's homeless. There's within that clutter of people is a bunch of dysfunctions. Mm-hmm. But when you got those needle in the haystacks that know how to stand up proud in the sun and shine, that's different from that group of people. I always realize that when you got the group of people, there's a bunch of craziness in that shit. Excuse my language, y'all, but yeah,
that's the truth.
There's a bunch of craziness in it. And that I had to look at myself like that, because one of the podcasts that we watched, the guy that live in another country, he said you got chosen ones and families, and I think that is true. I think that there's chosen ones. Everybody not the chosen ones. You got some people that are created for greatness, and then some people that's created to be supporters. Some people created to be supporting the higher heights. But for some reason now, the people that are supposed to be supporters or follow the guidelines, they want to be above the leader. They want to be above the highest one, and then they doing all kind of crazy things to try to put themselves there. But you going out of your way to do too much when it just comes naturally to the true leaders, to the true trailblazers, to the true example setters. You know, because I don't want to keep elaborating, because we probably went over 2 hours, but I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna stop. When we had the shops going, I was trying to keep that to where, because that right there alone was wealth, where it could have transcended through generations to come.
We tried to reach out to people in my family that wanted to be barbers,
as well as my family, and it just gotta no conversation, no entertaining the idea or the vision, because people want to do things. And you know, I talked to somebody about that. They want you to
roll a red carpet out for them. They want you to do everything to get them there.
It's
like
crazy.
They're helping you out.
Yeah.
Instead of I don't know what that is, but I'm glad we didn't feed into it.
But it could have created family wealth for where you hear, like, remember the Johnson family with Jet Magazine, and then you had the Bronner Brothers family where it just kept on going. You get what I'm saying? And I had this one person that I was close to, and it's just like, with this new modern woman thing, like, I don't know, whatever happened with time, is like, whatever energy we had that were connected, I feel from my point of view, and I'm gonna say it, this whole new modern woman thing, she endoused in it, and it's just like became a different person from how I remember her being, and we ain't really been the same, because it's like the more time going on, you know, and then she fell into the category of being the female with the college degree, you know, that I have such and such, and it's like, I know I've changed with time, but for the most part, I think I'm still intact with who I am, who my grandma raised me as. But when I look at people, it seems like a lot of people have become other people. You get what I'm saying? And it's like,
it's not for the better.
Yeah, and it's like, I told that person I'm not a feminist, because most of their ideology, things that they were saying, it didn't align with how I think. So it's like, I don't know, I think when you have girls' night out and girls' trips, I think that's females that's empowering females and they having fun together. But I think some of that is not good, because in that multitude of females, all of them females is not happily married. Some of them are single women. Some of them are lesbians. Some of them got boyfriends in their life. Some of them married with husbands. That's a chaotic mixture.
Yeah, and then
that's a not a good mixture.
I'm about to say that because in that circle, they're protected. They're lying for each other when they're doing. They're not being faithful in their relationships. So that's a way out for them to say, "Oh, I'm with my girls." And we ain't doing nothing, and that her girls is gonna lie for her.
So it's just.
So that's yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to keep.
Because if it was a man's night out, that'd be a problem.
What you did, who you, yeah. And then with the men's night, I remember something else. I'm gonna let it go. Remember a situation where we had one of my cousins came to us about this man that was dating a relative of ours, and he was like, that N-word was all over all the bitches, and we had the pictures and all that.
Yeah.
We had a situation where we know a dude was out there willy-nilly that was dating somebody, a relative of ours, and we brought it to her attention, and she was just in straight denial of it. Like, it's crazy.
And had pictures showing him in situations.
Yeah, and this same man dating the female relative of ours, but taking her brother to strip clubs and giving him money so they could, they at a strip club and he dating your sister.
That's so stupid.
You at a strip club.
That actually shows what masculinity that he don't have.
You at a strip club with a dude that dates your sister.
This guy is able to manipulate you like that. You are very weak.
Yeah, and it's obvious that the female is there for the material things. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So that means that you'll sell yourself short, whatever integrity, whatever, what word I'm looking for? Hold on. It's a word of value. It's dealing with value. Value. I'm going to say whatever.
Scruples? Scruples?
Whatever integrity you're supposed to have. Dignity. Yeah, whatever dignity that you're supposed to have, you shortchanging all of that stuff for material stuff. Because you found somebody that's a simp that's falling under falling under whatever your spell or your programming is.
And then that person don't have any loyalty to his sister at all, because he's being brought because somebody take him to a strip club and give him a couple of drinks and a few dollars.
I don't know what dude.
And you don't see what he's doing behind your sister's back.
I don't know what dude would go to a strip club with a dude that's dating his sister.
A very weak one. A very weak one. I can say that, and I can see if there's a so tight that everything's cool with him and the guy and his sister, and everything cool with him and the guy.
Yeah,
there's nothing going on other than them just out having a couple of drinks, watching girls.
Yeah,
that's still kind of weird.
It's kind of twisted.
Yeah, that's kind of weird too.
Because I think when it comes to your sister, no. That's why I say it's a lot of stuff. You just gotta let it play through, and like you said, stuff crumbles. You know what I'm saying? And that person that's trying to keep the illusion, they turn into like that. You remember the circus person that spin the plates and keep running when the plates slow down. They got to keep living. That's so tiring when you got to live life like that. But with that being said, y'all, we ain't gonna hold y'all up no more. We thank y'all for chilling with us, and we happy that we were able to get another episode done. And we gonna see y'all next go round.
Freedom to start after dark.
Yep. And thanks again. And thank you.
And peace and love.
Yep. And good night.
Hey.
When you feel the groove.
Hey. Freedom stars after dark. Freedom stars after dark. Freedom stars after dark. Freedom stars. Mental therapy. Whatever you want to call it, let's talk about it. Set it free. Time to finish what we started. Got our whole hearts in it. Standing hard on it. 2 feet, 10 toes deep. taking baby steps, coming through, something hard. Whoever your God, whatever your belief, lifestyles retreat. This is the place where we all meet. We talking freedom. We believe in it. No pads, ink pens, pull out a check. Come on, let's chat for a minute. We here. Yeah. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraints. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraints. Advice. Some words ain't always nice. Suggestions, making statements, praying, saying, chiming, vibing, frequency high. Spiritual contact, emotional climax. Forgiving, not forgetting, divine energy balanced within. Whoever your God, whatever your beliefs, lifestyle, retreat. This is the place where we all meet. We talking freedom. We believe in it. Notepads, ink pens, pull out a chair. Come on, let's chat for a minute. We here, yeah. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. We talking freedom. We mean it. Eyes on the prize. We see it. We rockin' freedom. We believe that. Ain't no stopping us now. Best believe it. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. The definition of freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint.
All right, y'all. Thanks again. A million times. This was Freedom Stars After Dark. Steve Osborne.
Kevin Upson.
We'll see y'all next go round.
Peace and love.
Peace. The
Prosperity,
definition of
health, and
freedom
wealth.
is the power or right